Recorded Books and RB Digital present The Wind in His Heart by Charles de Lint, narrated by Tom Stechschulte. Nearly everything that matters is a challenge, and everything matters. Rilke. Some things have to be believed to be seen. Madeleine L'Engle. I am going over yonder where no ghost can follow me. There's another place beyond here where I'll be free, I believe. Steve Earle, Over Yonder, Jonathan's Song. The Throwaway Child. Chapter 1. Thomas Corneyes. Those days, the prickly pear boys hung around the little tree trading post during the day, drowsing in the desert heat mostly, but still seeing and hearing everything that took place between the old adobe building and the two-lane road that ran up into the res from the highway. They weren't seen themselves, or at least not as themselves. Nobody gave a second glance to the small grove of cacti crowded up against the base of one saguaro or another. Nobody even noticed that they were rarely in exactly the same place from one morning to the next. But Thomas Corneyes did. He worked at the trading post and noticed their different position every morning when he arrived for work. No one in Thomas's family had ever had eyes the color of corn, either the green leaves of the tall midsummer growths or the yellow of the kernels. They got their name back when the federal government insisted a surname was required for everybody, without exception. On the res, they had a lot of fun coming up with names the whites thought were pregnant with traditional meaning. Johnny Squash Mother, Agnes White Deer, Robert Twin Dogs. No, Thomas had brown eyes, the same as everyone else in the tribe. The difference was, he could also see a little deeper into the invisible world of the spirits than most people could. But that wasn't something he would ever talk about. He didn't want to risk gaining the attention of the tribal shaman, Ramon Morago. For the past decade, Morago had been searching for an apprentice, and working with him was the last thing Thomas wanted. It wasn't that he was ashamed of his Kickamy heritage, or even that he didn't consider himself a spiritual person, but he was only 18, and he didn't want to spend the rest of his life living on the res, organizing sweats. He didn't want to be making medicine bags for the aunties, taking Reuben's dog boys out on their spirit quests, or any of the 101 other things a shaman did. But no matter what he wanted or didn't, he still saw into the spirit world, and the spirits knew it. Thomas was studying the cacti through the windows, trying to catch one of the prickly pear moving, when the long black caddy pulled into the parking lot. It was a 56 or 57, a real classic and in perfect shape. The glossy black paint job so deep it seemed to swallow light. He couldn't see a speck of dust on it, which, considering the roads around here, had to be a bit of a miracle. The tinted windows didn't let him see the driver, but, man, you'd have to feel like the king of the world behind the wheel of a car like that. He straightened up behind the counter when the driver's door opened, and a striking older woman stepped out. He wasn't sure what made him think she was older. Her features were youthful, and she moved with the easy grace of a dancer. She was tall and colt-thin, with a wave of thick black hair that was almost as glossy as the car's paint job. He figured her for a model, maybe even an actress. But neither explained what she was doing, driving herself out here in the sticks, except that she looked native. Not Kickamy, but definitely Indian. Then he caught a glimpse of her aura, the ghostly shape of a raven's head on her shoulders, and he figured she was going into the res to meet with Morago or the aunts. She glanced in the direction of the trading post and caught him staring. Thomas looked away, but not before he saw her smile. So much for maintaining his cool. When she came inside,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?